Hello everyone, and welcome back to BSG Online 2. I'm here with Steve TV Online, as well as his co-commentators, or co-commentator, I should say. Before we get started, I'm gonna quickly read out a couple of donations because we have already hit our first 100 euros. So that is quite hype right there.
Oh yeah.
So first off, we have a €5 anonymous donation saying, "Hi, have a good weekend." And then a €1 donation from Shuri Bear saying, "First donation hype, super hot today." So this donation goes to, and I never know how to pronounce this game, Is or YS. I never know which one it is. But he says, donation goes to YS baby. And then €60 from Tamain saying, "Hello Google, is the allusion to good light happenstance or international in the name Benelux. Reason we have Benelux is because, this is an event normally happening in the Benelux, but it is open to everybody, of course." And then we have a €34 donation from Tiny Tim saying, "Hey all, let's get this party started. Can't wait for another amazing weekend of speedruns with some of the nicest people I've ever met. I hope everyone has a blast and good luck to all the runners. Cheers." And I think with that, I'm gonna give it over to Steve with Fox and Forest for our opening run of BSG Online.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello everyone. I'm Steve TV Online, and I'm going to be playing this beautiful 2D platformer called Fox and Forests. It's an indie game that was created it started on a Kickstarter, and actually my commentator here is actually one of the backers of the Kickstarter when it originally came out, and he's also the world record holder at the moment.
Hi everyone.
So, I'm gonna go to the start here. My timing doesn't begin. It's gonna be a very weird start time. I'm gonna tell you exactly when that is. So, not when I hit start here, but it'll be at the first movement. So, I'll get this started here. And here we go. I will let you know the time. I got the swag turnaround here. And time begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to Fox and Forest. This was a game created back in 2018 by Bonus Level Entertainment. It's a 2D platformer, and you're able to shoot arrows, swipe the sword, as well as you're going to see a different aspect to this game, which is to change the seasons with your dagger that you have here. Some of the stuff you're going to notice is you're going to see that I have a double jump, and you have the double jump even if you run off a cliff. We're actually going to be using that to our advantage later on here. And the next thing you're going to notice is... Oh, go ahead.
No problem. So, you saw that chests can only be opened with a melee attack, and you can only melee attack when you are either ducking or when you're holding up or jumping. So, just standing there and pushing the attack button just shoots arrows, doesn't do a melee attack, and that way you can't open chests. But we need to open chests because we need some money. And chests always contain 50 coins, so we want to have that.
One thing you're going to notice here is I'm going to be collecting seeds as well. In order to complete the game, you need to collect 24 different seeds, and the route that we take will allow us to get exactly that amount. And by the end of this level, I'm going to try and collect... Normally you want to collect around 300 coins, but we're going to try for 400 because the coin routing is a little bit easier later on if you do it that way. We need 900 by the end of the first boss.
Yeah.
For our first set of upgrades.
Yeah, so to get a little bit into the story of this game, for those that are interested in story, so the season is stuck in the seasons, each part of the forest in one of the seasons, and that's done by the evil witch that wants to create a 5th chaos season. And that season 3 that you saw at the start tasked us to collect magical bark from the 4 bosses. So he says that, yeah, bring me those 4 pieces of magical bark and I can fix the forest again. And to unlock the areas, the new areas of the forest, you need a specific amount of seeds. So that's why we need to collect 24 seeds in total, because we need 24 seeds exactly for that last part of the forest.
One thing you're also going to notice is there's a badger in the background of these levels. Those are actually save points that you can use to say if you die, go back to there, because if you die without saving, you actually have to go back to the very beginning of the level. So hopefully I don't die and have to start over. That's why some of this routing here, we've routed it out to be a little bit safer, but it is still it can be a very tricky game if you don't know what you're doing, including some later levels.
Especially some later levels where you might want to use the checkpoints. The main reason why we don't use checkpoints in the early stages is you have to pay him to act as a checkpoint. And the later in the stage the checkpoint is, the more expensive it is. And it also gets more expensive with later stages. And the money route is rather tight at the beginning. I mean, okay, Steve is collecting way more money than I ever would. But I'm mostly close to 400 by the end of the stage. And he's well over the 400 already. So here we are at the end of the stage, and you see him jumping on that seesaw. There are 3 ways to jump on that seesaw. With a normal jump, that gains you 40 coins. With a double jump, gains you 90. And with a stomp attack, which we unlock later on, you would get 200 coins. So even if your money count is quite correct, you can still save it by just doing a double jump and gaining 50 more coins than usual.
Oh my god.
So this second stage, first you saw us changing from spring to winter to freeze water and stuff. Here we are changing the season to autumn or fall if you're American, to have those berries grow, to have the leaves fall, to help us pass through the stage, because otherwise we wouldn't get forward anyway.
And one thing you're going to notice, we're going to try, but since I've been, like, failing and not doing the greatest here, we're going to be, you want to use the season changing as little as possible, because it actually wastes a little bit of time just to change the season. But when you're changing back, it wastes no time, so you can do it whenever you want.
Yeah, so, if you want to switch to the alternative season, you have to stand still, and there's this little animation going on, and that's the way that that this wastes time. Changing back can be done anytime you want, even during a jump or something, and it doesn't waste time at all. But if you switch back too soon, you have to again switch, and that's the time waste.
So another thing that you notice, we were talking about coins. There's a difference in how much the coins are for each one. The bronze ones are obviously 1, the silver are worth 5, and the gold are worth 10 coins.
Yeah. So another thing that Steve was just collecting were 2 grindstones, or donuts, what some people want to call them. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, a grindstone does look like a donut, but come on, a stone donut, really. So we do need 2 grindstones to buy the first melee upgrade, which increases our melee damage, which is a good thing, but it also unlocks an attack that we do need, the stomp attack. So, yeah, we do need those 2 grindstones, which is why we routed those 2 in this stage in, because they are the fastest to get.
Alright, almost done with this level. And we're going to be collecting one more extra thing in this level as well. And that's going to be the potion vial, which we're going to be using on the final level to defeat the boss. A lot easier.
Yeah, so as in most Zelda games, an empty bottle is really, really useful.
Alright, can you explain what we're doing on Furious Frog here?
Yeah, so this is the first boss fight, the Furious Frog. He can jump into the stage from either direction, but he tells you which direction he comes from by croaking from there. So if you have a proper audio setup, you can hear, okay, he's jumping in from the right or the left. He then attacks you once with his tongue. You can only hit him while his mouth is open, otherwise he won't take damage. And we repeat that 3 times before the first phase is done. So that short animation there showed you, okay, this phase is done. Now he stays on the stage after he jumps in again. And he will shoot like, I don't know what it is that he shoots up in the air. But yeah, we want to switch seasons to freeze that and just shoot it in his face. We need to do that a total of 5 times, and that's it then. Oh, that could be, yeah, that.
No, it was not the
that
greatest.
was too close. That was too close. Okay, so yeah, a little time wasted because we have to wait for some more glitter there. But yeah, that's the boss. It's really the easiest boss in the game. Well, no, it's the second easiest boss in my opinion, at least. It is the first boss, so that's to be expected. If you were to die on a boss fight, you can get some in-game hints on what to do, which is kind of neat because otherwise maybe you don't figure it out. Just because you really do need to use the game mechanics of changing seasons. So here you've just seen Steve buy an attack upgrade, which is a double jump spin attack. My most favorite melee attack in the game, because it's just really useful. And that melee attack upgrade that I was talking about. So we do more damage. We also got the green magical arrows from the season tree for that piece of bark that we got him, which will shoot 3 arrows in different angles at the same time, and can also be used.
There's our spin attack that we got from one of the upgrades. It's a lot easier to do that to attack enemies instead of just having to wait and attack them only once.
Yeah. And that green arrow is also useful for hitting those green targets. You may have seen some of those targets in the first 2 stages. They can only be activated by shooting them with a magical arrow of the same color. And they always do something with the stage. Mostly some additional platforms appear or something to help you get further in. So right here, we have 3 ways to drop down. We need to fall down the middle path, because there is the trigger for that magical seed to spawn. This is the one trigger that took me the longest to find on my blind playthrough. It took like 3 hours or something. I was really not good at finding those. But yeah, those big ant enemies, they give you 3 golden coins, so 30 coins total, which is really good, which is why we usually take them with us, because I don't want to leave that money around. So yeah, each enemy, as you may have seen, usually drops 2 coins, a bronze one and either a gold or a silver one. The large enemies do drop 3 gold ones all the time. So you do know what enemies you get good money from, which is really useful for the money road.
So that second seed that I picked up there was actually the only way for that seed to spawn is by jumping down below.
Yeah, you have to walk below that platform, which fortunately is shown by there being that mana crystal, one of those blue crystals. So the first time I got there, I was low on mana. I wanted that crystal, walked there, got it, and that made that seed spawn. So that was kind of lucky, I guess. But yeah. Other than that, we do want to be at around 600 coins, I'd say, at the end of this stage. So we need another 900 coins by the end of the next stage for the next and last upgrade. So yeah, around 600 here should be fine.
Now, right here, if you know the pathing to get up here, you don't actually have to go into your season change here. However, I still don't trust myself with going up here while the trees are shown there, and also not knowing where the seed is down below here, because there's one more seed that we have to collect before we finish up this level, and that will be right here. Mod's able to go through here, no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, for a marathon, it's nice to show the actual platforms. So I think I would also switch seasons there just because. But yeah, maybe I would go for the blind strats. So this is the first of 2 auto-scrollers in the game, and yes, this game also has auto-scrollers because what 2D platformer doesn't? We are riding on Patty the Partridge. I had no idea a partridge can carry a fox, but okay. In this stage, there are also 5 magical seeds, and they are really easy to get. They are not out of the way because it's an auto-scroller, so they can't be. And that's why we do want all of those 5 magical seeds. And you just saw a death abuse. I figured out, hey, when we die, the badger here doesn't want any pay to work as a checkpoint. We just have to shoot the bubble he's in. And I realized, hey, when we die, we appear so that the badger is on the far left of the screen. What if we shoot him when he's on the far right of the screen and instantly die? Wouldn't that be faster? I timed it, and when we do that for all 5 checkpoints in the stage, we are like 6 to 7 seconds faster. So I routed that into the run. But other than that, this is just your usual auto-scroller. So if we do have any messages, crew, please go ahead.
Of course I do. Welcome everybody. Hello. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. Due to the situation surrounding COVID-19, we're currently doing our second online event. Can I quickly change that in my notes here, because that still said first online event. With streamers from both the Benelux and the rest of the world bringing you entertainment during the lockdown. We're currently raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society, so be sure to get your money in on that. Need me to talk more, or?
We do have around a minute or so left, so...
No problem, no problem. I'd like to quickly thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. For more information about their upcoming events and any changes due to the COVID-19 outbreak, be sure to check out esamarathon.com, and be sure to check out the Break the Record live happening during ESA Summer Online. Anybody is welcome to enter in on that, so be sure to check out their announcement on that. Also, if you're from the UK and you'd like to attend an event similar to BSG, we highly recommend checking out UKSG. They're currently in the process of setting up their next online event happening in July. UKSG is an event in Glasgow running 4 times a year for young minds.
Thank you so much,
All
crew.
right. Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem.
So this is my favorite boss.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about it, or do you want to concentrate?
Yeah, I'll concentrate. Go
Okay.
ahead and explain.
So, this is I think it's a hornet, or is it a wasp? I'm not sure.
Wasp.
It's a wasp, right? This wasp can only be attacked while it's opening up. I always call it, and you have to stun it by attacking it several times while it's open, and then switch the seasons so that the autumn winds can blow it into the spikes. That's the only way to damage this boss. You do that 4 times, and then you get rewarded with the magical bar. If you're happy, or if you're lucky, not happy, if you're lucky, that wasp will stay at the top right sometimes to be hit there, and if you knock it down while it's on the top right, so if it's already touching the spikes, you save a bit of time because you don't have to switch the seasons to have the wind blow it into it. So that's always nice when that happens.
Alright, so we're going to be going back to the main part of town here, and we're going to be buying our last upgrade that we're going to be doing. So after this, we're not going to have to worry about collecting money anymore.
Yeah, so we do need to have like 60 coins to buy 2 more potions, but 60 coins is nothing, so we don't have to worry one bit. And now we go to the most technical level of the game. I love it for it, Steve hates it for it, so this is going to be fun. Because now we are going to get into Windy Windmills.
This is the second worst level in the entire game.
Like I said, I love it because it's really technical. So the main trope here, it's a vertical level. So there's not really any horizontal movement. Most of it is vertical. And you see these platforms. Those are on a global cycle. So as soon as you start the level, all of those platforms start moving. When you switch seasons, all the platforms stop. So you can kind of control them a bit. But the worst part in this stage is the very last of those platforms, because that has a 40-second full cycle, and yes, I've timed that. So if you just miss it, you have a 40-second time loss. Right there, without anything you can do. So
the worst part of this level is the entire thing, just to let you know.
Well, that's your point on it. So yeah, other than that, you have those spiky things that are moving. They don't care all too much, mostly. Those enemies throwing those sacks of flour are way worse. So because they deal damage, they deal real damage, and they can totally screw up your run. So this is the first magical seed of the run. You have to go a little out of your way to get it, which is why it took me a bit to find it. But I mean, it's not too difficult to see, hey, this is really out of the way. Why is there a platform? Let's go there and see, hey, there's a magical seed appearing.
Anything that moves in this level can hurt you.
Yeah.
Besides the platforms, obviously.
Yeah, so you've seen those spiders carrying cogs as their buddies. When you kill them, the cogs fall down and they damage everything they touch. They damage you, they damage enemies. So they can be used as a way to kill other enemies, which we've already seen. But mostly they damage you.
So I'm actually going to be taking my first safety save coming up here in just a little bit, because I fail it pretty hard sometimes, and it's not worth it to go through the whole level again.
Yeah. So this is also the longest level in this game. It's about 7 to 8 minutes, depending on how well you get that last platform. And yeah, I died during runs right at the top and had no safety save whatsoever. And yeah, that was not good. That was not good, having to do the whole 7 minutes again.
Alright, it's because of these guys right here is the reason that I made my safety save.
Yeah,
these
those
guys...
4 guys can get really annoying. Well, 5 guys, technically.
There we go. Okay, that wasn't bad.
Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we need that stump attack. We do need to stump through that, through those 2 stone platforms to get that magical seed. Otherwise, we are 1 magical seed short at the end and need to go a longer route to make up for it. And we only have to collect 2 grindstones in order to be able to get that that upgrade. So I figured, okay, let's test if this is faster, and yes, it is. It definitely is. So yeah, we just get that and not worry about it too much.
So I'm not sure if anybody else does that routing that I did right there to get that seed. What I do is I just jump onto that gear, take a little bit of damage, and then jump up and grab the seed. I find it to be a little bit faster. I don't know if
that's the only way I ever figured out how to get that. I have no idea if that's the intended strat or not. So that's the thing I did on my very first playthrough, because I have no idea how else to get that. You could have jumped there earlier.
I'm always afraid of this.
But yeah, this is one of the reasons why Steve hates this stage. It is really hard to see when you can like jump on, when you can get past those blades without them hurting you. So I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. So yeah. In this chest that he was just standing in front of, there would be another grindstone for anyone who cares. We don't need it, so he didn't open it, but there would have been one. Just to inform you. So yeah, these 2 platforms that are out of sync, and you have to use the faster one with a slower cycle. To hit that red target. That's the most annoying thing, in my opinion. The most annoying platform, apart from the last one. But yeah, we are pretty much close to the end, or we are rather close to the end. About I don't know, about a minute more, I'd say. So we're a good chunk up the tower already.
So as you can see, I don't have enough money to actually use that because...
Yeah. We would need 240. We are 5 coins away. So what he could do is try to get those 5 coins from those spiders, and then use the checkpoint after collecting this magical seed.
I'm gonna do it just for safety right now.
Yeah. There's no reason why not. There's no reason why not, and taking this checkpoint after collecting the seed is usually the better idea if you have enough health to safely get to that seed. Other than that, I would always say, hey, okay, go for it instantly. But yeah.
Alright, I'm almost done with this level. Hallelujah.
I think you are done with this level, but in another sense of the meaning.
Yeah. Alright, so this is what he was talking about. I'm not sure if I'm on the up cycle or down cycle at this point.
Yeah, so we have to wait for a couple seconds for this to appear again. So Cruel, if you have anything to say, please do so.
Okay. I quickly wanted to mention we still have a couple of upcoming donation incentives. Now, I hadn't refreshed yet, but the Silent Hill incentive that I mentioned at the start has already been met, so that's already happening. But also later tonight is the Pokemon Emerald Rayquaza name. That's the Pokemon that'll be used for basically the last part of the game. Then for, and I'm gonna double check the times. Then for the night shift tonight, there is the Hamlet name for Darkest Dungeon. You can go up to 32 characters, so you can have some fun with that one. There's also the character choice for Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse between Trevor and Alucard. So that's another one. And then, I mean, we're already starting to get some ways there, but I've mentioned this during the opening. There is the Harry Potter cosplay incentive. It's currently sitting at 5 out of 60 euros, so we're slowly but steadily getting there. But definitely one worth getting. That run, and I'm gonna quickly check when that even is happening tonight. Well, during the night for my time at 4:30 a.m. Central European time. But for the US viewers out there, that's I believe that's like 10:30 in the evening. So that might be very worth to put your money to be honest. Have more time, or should I stop here?
Can stop here because we are in the next stage already. So
cool.
Yeah, this is Foggy Fables. I never remember that that stage's name, so I'm really grateful for the splits that I can see on Steve's screen. So in this stage we collect three magical seeds, which will be everything we need from here, or everything we can get yet from here. So that's what we have to deal with. If anyone counted, and I don't think anyone did, after that we are at 22 of the 24 magical seeds that we need. So we do have to visit one stage again, but that's the quickest route that I found. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right, let's see if the shaman is nice to me.
Yeah, he never is to me, so I'm going about this place a different way than Steve is.
Yep, he was nice to me.
Again, I hate this. So I usually kill the shaman on the platform down below, because, like I said, he's never that nice to me, and that takes a bit longer, but it's not too much of a difference. It's a few seconds. So here, Steve had to wait for his mana gauge to refill to switch seasons again. So you can see those two little arrows at the mana gauge. The mana gauge needs to be at least at that point to switch seasons. Otherwise, it's fair game to do whatever you want with that.
One thing you also noticed in the last level is I picked up the second potion vial. We're gonna use both of those potions. We're gonna be buying that when we get back into the main part. But
yeah,
as you see right now, we're on to the next boss, and do you want to explain this boss a little bit?
Yeah, so it's a giant mechanical spider, and nothing we can do would harm it. So the only thing we can do is run. So that's what we're doing. We're climbing this tower as fast as we can, and we hope that at the top there's something that can do something against that spider. So we'll see about that. Other than that, yes, it's just movement. So this is, in my opinion, really the easiest boss in the game, because unless you screw up your movement, there's no way that you die. I have been falling in between conveyor belts in the past, so that's one thing that can happen, and that can very much kill you. But other than that, the spider is rubber banding, but you barely see it, if ever, on easy. So yeah, you have to really screw up to not manage this boss fight.
And I have died to the spider before, and it's just like infuriating because you just have to go through. Nobody wants to do the same auto scroller 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm making sure that I'm going up here and getting all of this.
Yeah, I did have one run where I had to repeat an autoscroller. I missed one of the seeds in the first autoscroller. So yeah, and that was on a 100% category. So I had to go back.
One thing you probably noticed was I'm only jumping through certain things. There's the platforms that you can jump through are only the thin wood ones. If they're double wood and of like thick brown wood, then you can't jump through the bottom of them.
Yeah. At this point, we are usually jumping because, as I said, the spider is rubber banding, and I'm not sure if it's rubber banding to the vertical position that you're at or to the platform that you're at. So, yeah, we're just jumping just in case that's any faster, but it's not easy to time that, really.
So, as Mod said, we have 22 seeds right now, and we're going to have 24 in order to go to the final parts of the level. So we're just going to go to the first level here and collect our last 2 seeds, because it's actually the fastest route you can take to get those last 2 seeds.
Yeah, so before we got that stomp attack for this route, we were at 21 seeds at this point. And since there's only 2 more seeds in this stage to get, we had to run to the second stage that had 3 seeds left, but those are far more out of the way and far more annoying to get. So I was looking for a way to stop doing that, and luckily I found one.
Alright, so it's a lot of... As you saw that first time, when we first go through this level, you saw the green platform and obviously, or the green target that we weren't able to hit, but now we can since we have the target. So we're going to be going out of our way one more time here to get our second seed, and we can get that one by doing our... we went down below on the bottom path here, but this time we can actually go up top now that we have... the red power-up as well. That will allow for us to hit that target and move up here.
Yeah, which is also a point where we need that stomp attack. So, doubled up on it. Doubled up on its usefulness. And yeah, this is just a little pseudo-labyrinth, I guess, that we have to go through. Which will lead us to the last magical seed, and then we are pretty much done with it. And then we just run to the exit, because unfortunately the game doesn't save progress when you just leave the stage through the menu, so we do have to finish the stage.
Yeah, which is very unfortunate, because when I was first playing this game, or learning this game, I would get the 2 seeds and just leave, and then Mod's like, you just lost all your progress.
Yeah. But fortunately, now that we have the red arrows, we can also take a little shortcut right at the end of the stage, so we don't have to go all the way around like we did the first time, which also saves.
Now, normally you can't hit... Oops. Okay, that's fine. Normally you can't hit the targets from behind, but recently I've been getting lucky enough, and it's been allowing for me to hit the targets from behind. Usually, the only way to hit them like that is by getting very close to them, and you'll be able to hit them from behind. But you'll see if I manage to get it right, I'll be shooting it from a distance, and it's going to allow for me to...
yeah, I've seen him do it. I have never been able to do that on the Steam version.
Like that.
So I'm not sure if it's an Xbox One only glitch or something, but yeah, usually you have to go at least halfway into the target, and when you shoot, then the game registers the shot as being in the center of the target and just claims that we shot it properly. So I don't know what happened there.
Alright, so now we're here. We're going to buy ourselves our 2 potions. The only potions that we need are the first 2 that are right there. And then we're going to head over and we are going to get our final power-up from the tree.
Yeah, the one power-up that we will never use in this route.
we obviously use it in some of the other routes, but this route, no, there's no reason to.
Yeah, so it is necessary to use it for the 100% categories, but there's no reason to do anything with that power-up in this run. So we won't see it because it also wastes a ton of mana.
And he said, yes, he did say 100% categories, as in plural. There are 2 different categories for 100% because the game doesn't count. It counts 100% differently than actually collecting everything in the game.
Yeah, I can talk a bit about that for some category history. So we used to have a any percent and a 100% category. The 100% category involved getting really everything that there is in this game, including all health upgrades and stuff like that. The problem is buying the health upgrades gets increasingly more expensive, to the point where you have to pay 5,000 coins just for the very last health upgrade. And you usually don't have that kind of money after a normal run, even if you get all the money you want, you can get in all the stages. So that resulted in me running through the Foggy Fables for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 more times just to grind money, which was not fun at all. And the in-game percentage counter doesn't account for buying health upgrades, buying mana upgrades, or collecting bottles. They only account for the stuff that you can see on the pause screen. So I suggested, hey, why don't we split up the category into in-game 100% and true 100%? And yeah, the moderators said, yeah, that's a good idea. They did that, so we now have 2 100% categories, one of which is fun to run, the other is not. You can decide yourself which one is which.
And basically, this is just another auto-scroller that we have to collect the seeds in, so if you have anything for us, Cruel, go for it.
For sure. A couple quick things I still wanted to mention. If you guys want to stay up to date with our events, you can do so by following us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle BSG Marathon. Get a behind-the-scenes look at the events and stay up to date with the latest news on our marathons, events, and more. We're also in the process of uploading all of our old VODs to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BSG Marathon. Be sure to check it out and subscribe to find 2 new videos in your feed every day. I will be posting that link in chat real quick, just so you guys, I don't think that's under any command, so there you go. Now, if you want to support BSG, you can consider using your free monthly Twitch Prime subscription right here on the ESA channel. You'll get access to the ESA emotes as well as several BSG emotes, and you get to support both the events. So that's a nice win-win there. Have more time, or should I stay quiet again?
We are close to the finish of this stage, so thank you very much, crew.
Okay,
but yeah, Twitch Prime is a very good way to support any channel, and this channel in particular. So if you want to do something good and don't have the money, but you do have Twitch Prime, please consider dropping your.
And if you don't know what to do for incentives, I would strongly suggest the cosplay for Conception playing Chamber Secrets tonight, because
hands down. That incentive, I might not be able to watch the run because it's at like 4:30 a.m. here, but it's that's something I'll watch back for. I need to see this.
Alright, so this is legitimately the worst level in the entire game, and me and basically the whole community agrees that this is by far the worst. Even Mod agrees with me on this one.
Yeah, I will not argue that. I will definitely not argue that. This stage is horrible. The enemies deal so much damage. And I mean, it's okay on easy. But I'm also running this on normal difficulty, and they do twice the damage there. And if one hit costs you 2 hearts and you only have 5, that's a very quick death. And we do damage boost on some points here. So yeah, the health routing is not the easiest.
So if you're playing this level casually, all I can suggest is just run forward. There isn't like a technique at all to like. Don't try and defeat like all the enemies. Sometimes just run through and even casually just do what we're doing right here to get past these enemies because it's totally not worth it.
Yeah, true. So at some points, it's really the best option to just die, to just take damage, and maybe take enough damage that you can death abuse, which I think Steve is setting up here. You've just seen there was a badger standing right there. So on his way back, if he's low enough on health, he just gets the checkpoint, dies, and is revived with full health. So, this is one of the easiest ways to get health back. Costs a bit of money, but at this point we don't care about money. So
nice. So Mod just showed me that a couple of days ago. Getting through that area is a lot easier if you just use the fire arrows.
Yeah.
Because before I was just trying to run through it, and it just wastes more time and health just doing that. So if you're having trouble getting past that area, just do what I did right there and just shoot your fire arrows through, and it should kill them off pretty quick.
Yeah. So you saw him just running through one of those raptors. For the second one, I strongly suggest to save a bit of health, especially on the hardest difficulties. Try to jump into the Raven to get the damage boost, because he does way less damage. Other than that, just run through them because they're a pain to defeat because of their shields. And if you have the health, don't bother with them. Just don't.
Alright, and we're finishing up the level.
Yeah, not much that can happen here anymore, so... Well, nothing that can happen here anymore.
There's one more jump, and there we go. Alright, so now we're going on to the worst boss in the entire one. Even worse, in my opinion, than the final boss.
Yeah, definitely worse than the final boss.
So can you explain?
Hyena. So, this boss, it took me ages to figure out what to do exactly here. So we have to shoot the icicles at the top when they are above the hyena, or when the hyena is below them, rather. To make the icicle fall down onto the hyena's shield. Then switch seasons to make the explode. Switch seasons back to make the ward freeze the hyena, and then shoot it. And you can do it a little faster than what Steve does here if you crack the rightmost icicle while the hyena is off the screen. So you only have to shoot it once, and you are in a proper position already. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, this is also a very safe way to kill the hyena.
That was actually really good RNG, because where the icicles spawn is completely random as well.
Yeah,
so that was actually a really good hyena.
Yeah, so you do want them to spawn as far to the right as possible, so that the hyena doesn't have to walk too much to get to the icicle. And now we've got all the 4 pieces of magical bark, so...
And we're gonna go talk to the tree one more time, and he'll get us to the final boss. Wait,
yeah.
What's happening? Wait. Oh, the tree was the witch the whole time!
Oh no, really? Okay, I did not expect that. This is our final boss. A witch with a really, really big red nose. And really, really big red things mean just one thing: we want to attack that thing.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our potions that we've been collecting and talking about to get past the first phase, which is very slow, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go on this. We're going to be doing the faster phases. So the next phase, this is a slower phase as well. So we're going to be using our second potion right there.
Yeah, the third phase is by far the slowest. By far.
So we're going to just be hitting the witch's nose over and over again here. Ah!
Yeah. So on the fourth phase,
So-
it's like 15 hits for the kill, or for
Damn it.
To get through the phase. On the last phase, where we can see the background for that chaos season that the witch wants to create, it's 20 more hits. So if you want to count, please do so.
I'm messing up. There was no way I was getting that one.
Oh, yeah, I see it. So yeah, time ends on the last hit. So on the 20th hit, on the nose. We used to only do 3 hits per cycle. I did figure
fine.
out with proper timing, you can get 4 hits, so that's good. And we're done.
Yeah, that's Fox and Forests. If you're interested in this run, there's Mod and I think are the only 2 at the moment that are actively running this game.
Yeah.
There isn't a, unfortunately, there is not a Discord for this, but we do have a speedrun.com. So if you're interested, just contact either Mod or I, and we will happily show you how to run this game. Once you get it down, it's actually a really fun run to do.
Yeah, it's a really fun run, and I mean, Steve was posting on the speedrun.com forum that he will do this for a 12-hour challenge, and I was like, hey, nice, I want to join you on stream. So I was watching his stream while he was learning this, and I do have to say, he was like 8 minutes behind after just the 12-hour challenge. So that was a really, really good time for the first real run.
But yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy that this run got accepted and that I got to open up this marathon. And don't forget to donate for this cause. And also, I will be on tomorrow. I will be running Beyond Good and Evil tomorrow. So I hope everyone will be able to come and watch that.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, for donating, for dropping subscriptions to the channel. Have a good marathon.
And thank you to Steve and Mod for your run of Fox and Forest. We'll be going into a quick intermission here while we get Herc's Adventures set up. While the intermission is going, we will be playing a couple of ads, so stay tuned and we'll be right back with you guys.